What's up guys, Ace here, back with another video. Today we've got some Kaldheim spoils. Got some decent cards. None of them white. Gosh. I never go in expecting to get a decent card, but I do go in expecting to get some pretty crappy cards. And I was not disappointed. I was not, and I feel like they're going in the right direction, but anyways. That's neither here or there. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. Today we've got some more sagas, got some cool legendary creatures, got some cool cards with some abilities. Let's check it out. The first card we got Harald unites the elves, that's Harald, I suppose. And it's a saga that is mythic. Nice. Mill 3 cards and put an elf or Tyvar, a card from your graveyard, onto the battlefield. So I think Tyvar, if I'm not mistaken, is the planeswalker that we saw earlier that made elves tap for black. I think it was the only elf planeswalker in this set, so I think that's Tyvar. I could be forgot. Like, who else would it be, right? Like, it's gotta be Tyvar. Anyways, put on the battlefield. Okay, that's cool. It's like 4 mana. I'm assuming this is an elf deck. 4 mana draw a card, and then it's you create a little power on the board. Okay, I'm not sure how much power elves need. This is probably like a top end, along with Tyvar. Right, because adding a counter to your elves probably doesn't do too much. Probably want like Crater Hoof over the top or something like that. Because usually their elves are tabbing, they're not attacking too often, I don't think. Unless they're like the attacking type, which there are those elves that do that. But anyways, I gotta stop talking before I like give myself away that I'm not a green player or a black player. So anyways. next saga counter. Whenever an elf you control attacks this turn, target creature an opponent controls get -1/-1 until end of turn. Target creature an opponent controls. Interesting. So it's a removal spell, kinda, as well. You gotta go through a few hoops, but you know, it's whatever. I think this card is okay. It seems like a lot of hoops to jump through for such a relatively small effect. Like, none of these effects seem surefire. Like, it's like, oh, you have to have a graveyard. Oh, you also have to have elves on the board, but also your opponents have to have creatures. It seems very restrictive on what this card can do. I don't think this card is good. I don't think it's good. Anyways, I spent literally like a minute talking about this card. Goodness gracious. All right, let's speed it up a little bit. Speed up a little bit. Next up, we've got Jorn, God of Winter. 2 and a green legendary snow creature god, a snow creature. I think we've seen that in a minute. Whenever Jorn attacks, untap each snow permanent you control. 3/3. Dang, a snow permanent? How many snow permanents do we have? I don't think too much, and it's like none that are super crazy, right? But there's some like cool snow permanents and I assume black and blue maybe that require you to untap or tap. I don't know. Because on the other half, it's like you're not playing a jorn in your deck, so you can't play the rimestaff anywhere in there. Anyways, his flip side is Kaldring the rimestaff. 1 Demir. Goodness, this staff. Okay, I'm a big fan of mages and wizards and stuff like that. This staff, I think, is one of the dopest, if not the dopest looking staff in Magic thus far. Legendary Snow Artifact. May play a target snow permanent card from your yard to battlefield tapped. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. I don't think there's anything crazy about this because the fact that it's a snow permanent means it's so restrictive already. I don't know if it's that crazy. I don't think it's that good. I could be wrong though. But gosh, that artwork and that staff. Ooh, that sounds weird. All right. Anyways, Carter Vicious Return. 2 black and a red. For a saga that you may sacrifice a creature on its first counter. When you do, this saga deals 3 damage to any target. That's alright. I mean, you're not. I feel like you're losing cards at that point, right? But you're playing Rakdos, so you probably want the sack. I'm always cautious about sacking things now because the idea of like parity, and it's like you're losing a card for this just to deal 3 damage. It's like, is it worth it? Maybe if you're taking out something else with it, I suppose. Each player discards a card. You're also losing another card there, so you're -1 compared to your opponent's -2, or yeah, you're -2 compared to your opponent's -1, where you destroyed one of their permanents, I suppose, maybe a creature. So I think you're losing card advantage here, but maybe you want that. Wait, no, you're only discarding. No, each player discards a card. Okay, so you're both -2. You're both -2 at this point. Okay. I mean, you're keeping parity. No, but then you're also like playing this card from your hand. So. Yeah, I don't think this card is too good. Return target creature card from your battlefield on the battlefield. It gets +1 counter and it gains haste. It kind of like reminds me of the Eldest Reborn, and kind of is like a also conquers death, but it's still a little weaker than those, I think, generally. I'm not feeling this one. I'm not feeling it. I don't think it's good at all. All right, next up we've got Tibalt's Trickery, which is a card. I was looking at Reddit and like everyone was flipping out about how like, oh, it's got the 3 magic words, counter target spell, whoa, and like no one reads the rest of it. But hey, I'm totally fine with that. Like this is a 2 mana counter spell in red, and boy, honestly, I imagined one day we'd get a counter spell like this because I'm one of those people who think of like cards like Reverberate as basically a red counter spell, right? Like you hold your two red up, and someone try to counter your crap, just like reverberate that crap, right? Like that's what it is basically, right? And this is kind of like that, not like it's reverberate, but it's basically chaos warping a spell. Could be an opponent's, but could be yours as well. The flip side is you can use this aggressively or defensively, which is super sweet. This is super cool. So maybe I should read it. So it's 1 in a red instant with counter target spell. Choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Its controller mills that many cards, which I don't really understand why they add the mill. I guess it's supposed to stop like top deck manipulation. Then exiles the cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card with a different name than that spell. Okay, so I guess if you're trying to like, you have to get a different spell. So you can't like counter something to save that to get another copy of that on the battlefield, I suppose, through Counterspell. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it has to hit. You'll get a different spell than the one you countered, right? Someone will get it. Then they put that exiled cards in the bottom of the library. Then they cast it without paying its mana cost. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's just like a red chaos warp. I don't know what to say about it. It's it's spicy, but I don't know how good it is. I'll definitely try to make a mono red deck though. A mono red control deck. I just play like 4 counter spells, Tibalt's Trickery. Gosh, that'd be hilarious. That's one of those decks that'd be fun, but I don't know how good it would be. It'd definitely be fun though. You play this in a red control deck, right? Like even if it's not like commander, you play this in red control. I think so. Like just having the ability to counter a spell, and if people are playing 1-ofs, this is just so spice. I like it. This card is dope. Wait, this is also a mythic removal. I don't think have we had mythic removals? I don't remember since last time we got a mythic removal. I'm sure we have, right? Elspeth Conqueror's Death is mythic, right? Or at least rare. It's a rare counter spell, or a rare removal spell. I can't remember the last one, but yeah. All right, this is dope. I'm a real big fan of actually like cool mythic removal or rare removals. I'm sorry, mythic, rare. They're all the same, guys. Come on. Next up, we've got the spell, the most controversial spell in all of Magic, and boy, do I have something to say. Jeez. Okay. So this spell is. Oh, I'm seriously like trying to simp for white so badly here. I really want to. Like, think about this. You can basically exile any permanent for 2 white. At sorcery speed, it's a Vindicate at 2 mana. Come on, guys. 2 mana Vindicate. Come on. But the fact that player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield for free? Bro. Dude, so you're only playing this late game where everyone's top decking, and you're hoping also, like, you can also play this like at early game against like control though. Oh, come on. They could have done this a little better. Even instant speed would be better. I mean, it wouldn't even be talked about if it was instant speed. And it's got the 2 white pips. Oh, they did white so bad here. So bad. You can't even target your own stuff to get some free permanent out. Oh, imagine if it was your own stuff. Like, I know Angelic Ascension, which was like I think it was the last super decent removal spell from a set recently. And I think mostly it's played on your own like white weenie creatures. So it's kind of like a polymorph effect for an angel whenever you try to like remove it. You can't even do this with this. Can't do that with this. They expected you to do it to like have an opponent. Like it says opponents. I don't know, boys. I don't know. Oof. They could have made this better, and they just made it bad. I don't know. Like I said, do not expect white to get anything good. Just hope that other colors are doing cool stuff, and just cry in a corner. Anyways. We got Torolf, God of Fury. 2 in red. This guy looks sick. Trample. Whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, Torolf deals damage equal to the excess damage equal to the excess to any target other than that permanent. To the excess. Does that mean if like you're bolting someone for like 5 and like, or if you're bolting like a planeswalker for 5 and they have 3 loyalty, that means the 2 goes over something else? That's kind of dope. But it's also, oh no, it's a non-combat damage. Ooh, I don't know about that. The fact that it's a non-combat damage, will that be a little hard to trigger? Maybe not. It's a creature and a planeswalker, or a planeswalker. I don't know how good that is. Seems, I don't know. That's a little spicy. I don't know if you'd make a commander deck out of that though. Then we've got Torolf's Hammer, which is 1 in a red. Equipped creature has 1 in a red unattached to the hammer. It deals 3 damage to any target. Then return Torolf's Hammer to its owner's hand. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 as long as it's legendary. Red and a colorless to equip. So this is 4 mana for repeatable removal? Wait. It's way more than 4 mana. Holy crap. Holy moly. Wait. It returns to your hand, so you have to cast it for 2 mana. Then you have to equip it for 2. Then you have to unequip it for 2. Jeez. Goodness gracious. And this is, ooh, I think red here got the short straw. No lie. 100% short straw here. 6 mana for 3 damage? And you have to have a creature? Bro, okay, honestly, I was thinking this card would be a lot better, but I think Torolf is not that good. Real quick. He went down real bad. Jeez. Goodness gracious. Alright, what else do we got here, boys? What else do we got? This one might be interesting, but maybe not. I don't know. Let's check on it. Fall of the Imposter. Alright, 1 green and white enchantment saga. For the first and second counter, put a +1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Third counter, exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. Ooh, this is a little weird. Fall of the Imposter. So you make your creatures bigger, then you exile the largest creature on opponent's board. But it's a flavor. It doesn't. So the effect doesn't really hit Tibalt, which is kind of weird. I mostly won't hit Tibalt, right? Because it's like a 2 power when he's a creature. The fact that it doesn't hit a permanent is like, he can't even hit the Tibalt Planeswalker. I mean, it's a decent card, right? For uncommon, that's decent. It's a removal spell and it's a pump spell. And Selesnya, like, that's pretty decent. But a little lacking on the effect, I think, for it to be like, see any play. Unless you're playing like an enchantment deck or something like that. Alright. Next up, we've got some other cards. I have no clue what this is. This is, I believe, the Rune of Aviation, which is an enchantment. And I believe we ended up seeing a tutor for the runes in white at 3 mana. And it also made rune spells cost 1 generic to cast, I believe. So this is the start of something new, maybe. If white can tutor for something, some of these like cool new rune subtypes, is that what they're called? Subtypes? Maybe we get something good and repeatable, but maybe not. Odds are not. Maybe this is all like in context of standard being good and not just like a good one-off. Maybe it's not gonna be a good one-off permanent type. So yeah, enchantment. Aviation Rune, enchant permanent. Okay, and it enters battlefield, draw a card. So it's 2 mana, draw a spell for blue, of course. If it's a creature, it gets flying. If it's not a creature, if it's an equipment, the equipped creature has flying. Okay, so it gives the thing flying. That's all right. I mean, what can you expect? That's yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else I should expect from this. I was expecting a little more. I don't know what defines it. Is it the fact that the rune can attach to any permanent? I don't know. I guess it's okay. Holy crap. 5 mana, each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Or 4, oh, it's instant speed. Instant speed edict, but still, is it good? No. Each player sacks 2 dudes. Even you. You're playing black, so it's probably fine. At 5 mana, or you can save it. I don't think this is good. Like, you can store it for 2 mana on turn 2, playing removal spell turn 3, turn 4. If you're playing against aggro, this wipes out their board. Maybe that's too wishful. I don't know. Alright, next up we've got Run Ashore. That does not seem that interesting. Okay, Rise of the Dread Marn, I think we've seen. And we've got a few other things here. Alright, so I think we've got a few more cards left. And next up we've got Morite The Frost. Looks dope, but looks kind of meh. Jeez, okay, this is one of those Simic cards that not only is it not like super saturated in like juicy blues and greens, it also seems pretty weak. I could be wrong here. I hope I'm not wrong, and like this card is like some absolute unit. It looks pretty dope. Also with like is that like little goat in the background or something like that? It's like the goat god or something. I don't know. It's a shapeshifter. It is a god, I guess. It's a changeling. Anyways, it reads, it's a legendary snow creature shapeshifter with changeling. You may have Morite the Frost enter the battlefield as a copy of any permanent you control, except legendary and snow and other types. If it's a creature and its battlefield is with 2 additional plus almost counters on it, and it has changeling. Yikes. Wait. If it's a creature, so if it's a creature, at least you get a 5 mana 2/2. Okay. I can go to bed. This seems like a pretty weak Simic color. It's not like chock full of value, like juicy value, which isn't a bad thing. It looks pretty dope. Is this? Do you guys think like maybe this is some sort of god? Just like, I think like Odin, he would like walk around the world. Maybe it's not Odin, but like walk around the world as like a regular man, and like no one would assume he's Odin. It's just like a regular dude. But like you wouldn't see that dude the next day at the daily tavern you'd go to. Like this is one of those sort of ideas that like this is just a god just like shapeshifted into a man with some horns or something like that. I don't know. I'm interested in the lore of this card. This card I know has gotta be crap. Unless you're playing Simic and you're trying to play like Sakashima or something like that. But I don't know. Doesn't seem that good. Doesn't seem too juicy. For my standards anyways. Okay, next up we have Faceless Haven. Snowland that taps for a colorless, 3 snow. You can create a 4/3 of vigilance, has all creature types, so it's essentially a changeling. This card seems kind of cool. There's that one card in standard now that I believe it for 4 mana, you can make it a creature and also give it +2/+2 counters. I think this card would be a nice card to put in that card's place. This card is also essentially 2 mana to activate and use because you can also tap this later on a turn because it has vigilance. So there might be some way to play this that's better than that card. Maybe in a control deck where you want to keep a lot of mana up at all times. Maybe it's better there. I don't know. Or if you just want like more snow control finish or something like that. I don't know if this card is good. Would it even take Mutavolt's place? For 1 more extra mana, would you play this? I mean, I don't know, because like later on, you'd have to like, not only are you using that mana initially first to activate this card, but it means you have to rely on colorless mana, which is kind of risky if you're playing something like that. I could be wrong though, because you have to play it instead of the Mutavault. So it'd go into Mutavault decks, and Mutavault decks, do they want this? I don't know. Anyways, the art for this card looks dope. I don't know what about this card or what it is about this card, but the flavor text has me thinking like a bunch of things, and I have no clue about the like about like Nordic or Viking mythos, so I have no idea what I'm talking about, just a preface. But it says it is everywhere and nowhere, a place unbound by logic, just beyond the real. So it's just beyond the real, which I assume is everyday walk of life, aka like reality. And it's just beyond that, which I think is somewhere between. It's like the rift between worlds. I'm assuming, but I might be making up a whole bunch of random crap, but I'm thinking that's the place you go to a different realm. Like there's Kaldheim and there's like 7 other different realms. I'm thinking this place connects them. It's kind of like, I think Stranger Things, where they had like this idea where there's like a rift between worlds, and I think this is that place essentially. It looks dope. I super want to know more about this card, and I'm super interested. Also, what's the idea? You can kind of see it too, right? Like the shining star in the background. Now, as of making this video, we have no clue what that means, what that is. But like, we see that in a lot of cards in Kaldheim, so I'm super curious what that star thing is. Anyways, yeah, this card looks dope. I don't know how good it's gonna be. I don't think it's. Okay, from a scale from 1 to 10, the odds of it seeing play, I think personally, are probably a 3 in any format. It's just generalized. I don't think it's gonna see too much play. If it does, it's probably gonna be in a control deck, I think. Actually, no, scrap that. It might be, unless there's a colorless aggro deck, it's probably just a control deck where the ones with this card. Yeah, anyways. Next up, we've got some spicy new card. Draugr Necromancer, 3 and a black for a super sick looking card. If this snow creature zombie cleric was on the battlefield, and if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead. You may cast spells from among the cards in exile your opponent's control with ice counters on them. You may spend mana as though from snow sources from many other cards. Cast that spell. Blah blah blah. Gosh, it's got too much text. Come on, you guys gotta give me a free one. It's a 4/4. So yeah, you cast this. People have their creatures die. You can cast them later on a different turn. If you don't, they're just in exile, so it's kind of cool. It's like a Leyline of the Void effect. I think this card's pretty sick. I think this card is definitely playable in EDH, which is my sort of criteria, because I play a lot of EDH. It's a Leyline effect. It's got 4 toughness. It gets value. I don't know what else there's to say about this. It's a pretty decent card. I think you play it in definitely mid power and lower, maybe high power too. The only weird thing is, it's like, what if you play a deck that doesn't have any snow mana to cast the spells you exile with this? I don't know. That is not going to come out, but like, you just need to play snow mana, snowlands if you want to play this. You got to give them the monies, because I think snowlands are generally a little more costly than the non-snowlands. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Anyways, yeah, that's interesting. This card looks sick. Also, have I told you guys I'm a big fan of staffs? Wait a minute. This guy's staff looks so sick. The one thing about this set is the staffs in this set are so sick. There's a white card that the guy was like super maniacal looking. He had a sick looking staff, like the floating sort of like barbs coming from it or something, like the stones. It's kind of like got this like weird Zendikar-ish look to it, where it's like got a bunch of floating appendages coming from it. Question mark. This sort of has that. You can kind of see it right there. I like that. It looks cool. It looks really sweet. Like, honestly, if you could scrape this as a cleric and put like wizard, and you'd totally understand that or see where that's coming. This card is dope. This card is so sick, gosh. I like card art a lot. Anyways, next up we've got Annul. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Listen, disenchant. I mean, white's already got disenchant, but this is disenchant for a counter spell for 1 mana. Stops Ember Cleave. This is good. Is this also blocking the Thor God's Hammer? Haralf's Hammer? I think it is. Wait, no, it can't even counter his hammer, right? Because you unattach it. Unless you cast it first, and then they cast this. Interesting. I wonder if that's the guy's hammer. Wait, can we just check here? I have no clue if I can tell if that is. I don't think it is. Okay, I don't think it is. Yeah, 2 different hammers. Anyways, it's cool. It can counter it, but it can't counter the Bogarden hammer. Anyways, because it's instant. Anyways. I think that's it. Oh, we got one more. I mean, Masquid Nexus. For 4, cast this, and then for 3, create a bunch of... Tap it and create a 2/2. Creature control... Okay. It seems fine. I don't know if this is... Yeah, I don't think this is particularly good in Standard. Maybe an EDH, but yeah, seems like a decent card. In EDH, maybe. At lower power, maybe mid. Next up, we've got Eradicator Valkyrie, 2 and a black for Angel Berserker of Flying, Lifelink, Hexproof from Planeswalkers. It's got both sacrifice a creature. Each one sacrifices a creature or Planeswalker. Ooh. This is kind of cool. For like a top end for aggro deck. If like they're playing Teferi or something like that, you just gotta play a creature, then sack it after your attack. When I say sack after your attack, I mean you sack it, you deal the damage, and like the step before combat is over, then you sack your creature, and then they have to sacrifice a creature or Planeswalker. This is kind of a dope card, and it got lifelink, so it helps you against aggro. Nice. Very cool. All right, I see you, wizards. Anyways, that'll be it for my video for the day, guys. Closing thoughts. I have to say there are some pretty spicy cards here, especially in Rakdos colors. Definitely pumped. I'm liking Tibalt's Trickery. I'm also liking the draugr Necromancer. It looks pretty dope. And Are they? No, both those are just rares. All right. And gosh, but but Torald, he seems pretty bad. I could be wrong here, but he seems pretty bad. 6 mana to deal 3 damage, just because it's repeatable. I don't know about that one, boys. Anyways, and white got sort of the short end with the divine gambit. I'm definitely gonna be playing it in my deck, but like I only play it because like I want more removal that isn't permanent based, right? I don't know, boys. Anyways, peace out, guys. Catch you guys later. Tell me what you guys think about these cards in the comments down below, especially Tibalt's Trickery and Divine Gambit. I know Divine Gambit is just straight poo poo, but I want to hear people tell me that I'm playing a bad deck. But yeah, deuces and see you guys later.